Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Remette RT Orca button operated frame lock. Very cool. It can be manipulated like a normal frame lock if you want to, disengaging here, right? But the benefit to this knife is being able to manipulate that frame lock with a button, which is fun, adds the fidget factor, right? You still have the detent ball. It's not a plunge lock, so you're not dealing with the kind of crappy feeling of a plunge button lock acting as its own detent. No, this has a detent ball because it's still a frame lock, but you can also manipulate the knife without putting your fingers in the cutting path while you're disengaging. So really nice combination of fidget factor, safety, and utility. Just ease of manipulation all in there. Very, very cool. This knife comes in a few different configurations. They all have a different flavor of super cool carbon fiber in there. This one is both robin's egg and purple. Really cool. You guys can check these out. They are available. I'll link them down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to Remette for sending it in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. Overall length of the RT Orca coming in at about 7.65 inches. Blade length is coming in about 3.35. Cutting edge about 3 1/8. Let's do some size comparisons. Any custom scales you find in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and Other. So up against my own Excalibur and the Shark Cub from Demco. It's actually very much right in between these. In fact, if you like my Excalibur and the Demco Shark Cub, I very much love the Shark Cub for EDC. Of course, I love my own knife. This is kind of right in between, and it's doing its own thing. So people who have similar tastes to me, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you'll kind of know what I prefer. You could probably guess that I'm a huge fan of this knife, and you would be correct. You will absolutely enjoy it if you have experienced, similar looking knives in the past and very much enjoyed them. Let's put it up against the Spyderco PM2, which is, there it is right there, Spyderco PM2, and the Spyderco Para 3. It's a little bit bigger than the Para 3, but still kind of like right in between. And then finally, let's put it up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue and the Hogue Deca. So how's the action? Well, the action is awesome. Push the button and the blade falls. You can utilize the front flipper, which has a nice little dip in it. So if you're like me and you don't really like front flippers, you don't really feel super confident manipulating them, it's actually a little bit better there. The little slot here, the little hole, is definitely my preferred means of opening the knife. I think that works really, really well. Of course, like I said, you can use the button to whip it open and closed, and disengaging it if you want to. You can manipulate the frame lock as you would normally. There's no double clutch or anything like that. Honestly, everything's in exactly the right place. It's very natural, very simple, friendly, and safe to manipulate, and quality control feels really good. I can feel the bearings in there, but I'm not feeling any inconsistency from start to finish, right? Like it doesn't feel like anything was over tightened or anything like that. It feels good, but not like a buttered Crisco smooth, just like a smooth, bearings are operating correctly kind of smooth, but it feels really nice. Let's go ahead and do carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. We are almost exactly the same. Almost, maybe a hair thicker on the Orca. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This knife carries really well. It actually folds up, despite being bigger than the Para 3, it actually folds up to become almost exactly the same size in the pocket. It is going to be heavier though, given that we are dealing with titanium. So for materials, titanium, carbon fiber, and M390. You can check Taylor's HRC data for Remette on his website. He's got, I think, close to 800 tests now on the Steel Hardness Lab. You can find that website by going to the last clickable link in my description. Remette does consistently well, if I remember correctly. I think they target their M390 from 60 to 62, and they actually, according to Taylor's tests, they are actually hitting those numbers. So that's pretty cool, because not all companies do that. In fact, I would venture to say most companies are not hitting the desirable optimal HRC range. And some companies aren't even hitting the range that they claim. 3.8 ounces makes this a really nice blade length to weight ratio. Not perfect, but very nice. Your balance is, it's a ways back from the pivot, maybe half an inch. Not bad, though. The overall, weight being only 3.8 ounces, it's not that heavy to begin with. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. I'll get out my tools. As per usual, my tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use in this channel or the pinned comment. I believe everything here is T8. Yeah, all of this, the inlay screws, everything, T8 across the board. Very simple to take apart and put back together. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Blade stock thickness, I think, is the last thing we need to do before we jump into the meat and potatoes here. Come on now. There we go. Blade stock thickness, 125 or so thousandths. Let's talk about the ergos. Wow, this is a comfortable knife. Very comfortable. There's a lot, here that is, it's not the same, but it's very similar to my preferences in my own knife. So you can see here, obviously this is a knife that I enjoy. I like the profile. I like the opening hole system. I like the lack of a flipper tab. I like being able to choke up. It's all really good. Very comfortable. Really could have used some jimping a little further out here. I think that would have been a lot nicer. But everything else is totally fine. Thickness behind the edge, honestly, it does come down to like a medium thin edge. Your stop pin location, before I forget, is actually further, quite a ways back of I think it's actually catching in here. It's not up here. It's definitely a ways back. We can see right here, here's the stop pin. The part of the blade that it's touching is nowhere near. I mean, you can actually see, maybe, you can see the plunge grind like way up here. It's actually behind the button. But where that's actually, it's right after that second curvature off the flat. So it's like right here is where it's contacting. That is plenty deep. You will never sharpen into this. Doesn't make any sense. So that's perfectly fine. We have kind of a blasted titanium. I do like the carbon fiber and like the colors in it. And I'm glad that they chose, I mean, they could have chose like the robin's egg or the purple for the pivot color here, but I'm glad they chose a matching color. I also like that they kept all of the branding off of the blade. They just have the Remette logo right here. And then there's really nothing else on the blade. I think they call this finish pearlescent. It's kind of like an overcast sky. It's not really shiny, it's not really matte, it's kind of in between, but it looks good. Consistency across the board. Cutting bevel is perfectly even. Fit and finish all the way around is really good. The inlay work on this is incredible. I don't think I've ever seen bad inlay work from Remette. Simple backspacer. We have a lanyard hole here. Pocket clip, milled titanium, of course. Only right-handed tip up. Nothing for lefties. Which that's a bummer, but that's how it is sometimes. What I really like about this is they decided to put that inlay on both sides and make this partially cover the frame lock. A lot of, the squeeze pressure while you're using this will actually go into that overlay and not into the frame lock, which is really cool. They probably could have done it a little bit bigger, but it's fine the way that it is. That's a nice touch there. Nice way to keep everything even. Like I said, your open position stop pin, you can see the contact point right here. They did actually print M390 on it right here. Yeah, have to be able to see it for myself. I'm sure you guys saw it way before my eyes finally focused. But stop pin location right here. No shouldering, but that's okay, doesn't need it. No blade play up, down, left, or right. No lock stick, no pivot lash. Smooth, like I said, you can hear it. That little, by the way, if you ever hear like you hear that? A single drop of 10 weight nano oil. First of all, you want to get in there maybe with a Q-tip or something, clean it off, and just keep doing that over and over and over again, because oftentimes it just means there's debris caught between the detent ball and the blade face. Clean it off, then a single drop of 10 weight nano oil on the detent ball. You can also use like KPL, and it'll get rid of that. I can hear it, I can feel it, but it's not like a bad quality. It's consistent. What I don't want to feel, right? There's many tiers of quality of action. This is acceptable, what I'm feeling here on this knife and at the price point. What I don't want to feel at any price point is rattling and or unevenness as we open the blade up. We don't want to feel like bump, bump, smooth, rough, smooth, bump, bump. We don't want to feel that. We want it to be the same all the way through. And the reason is because over time, it will smooth out. Something like this, where we can hear just a little bit. Over time, those bearings are going to wear in, that race, and it'll just become more and more and more and more smooth. If you have bumps or grits or just uneven surfaces, or you have surfaces that have like slightly different finishes, it's just inconsistency, then it takes way longer. And sometimes it just never ever goes away. So as long as it's consistent and you can release the lock and the blade will fall, then you're good to go. No blade plate up, down, left, or right. No pivot lash. Like I said, consistent in here. Click, nice detent into the closed position and centered. Price of this knife, $285. Is that fair? Button operated frame lock. We have some pretty nice carbon fiber inlays on both sides. We have properly heat treated M390. Really nice fit and finish across the board. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that's great. I think that this is competitive. I'm really glad that Remette is doing stuff like this and giving people an alternative versus like WE knives. It's making arguably, the same thing. I mean, in some cases, WE knives are more complex, but WE knives will make the same thing and charge you $40, $50 more. And it's just nice to see that Remette is offering, an alternative that's a little less expensive, and they're actually heat treating their steel correctly. WE knives typically hitting 59 to 61, sometimes 58 to 60, which is a bummer. Yeah, I really enjoy Remette. I think their quality control is great. I think they listen to the community, and I'm glad that they are, tossing in some button-operated frame locks, top liner locks, things like that. I know that we'll see more really cool, innovative stuff from Remette in the future. But as far as this knife goes, recommendable. It's a nice knife for people shopping in this price range. If you're just looking for a good, straightforward tool, obviously you want to start with the budget territory. They make knives in that territory as well. But if you're looking at premium knives between $250 and $300, this is a really great option. That's going to be it today, guys. I'll put it in my recommended knives playlist. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.